Dom top era. Passive, submissive, bottom type of people. Oh, hello daddy. I want to go to a bar, I want to have a drink, and I want to meet a man. Top of the whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. Because it ain't morning for me, I can tell you that. It's afternoon. And welcome to Tweed. First of all, I just want to, it's been mentioned quite a few times on the conference call. You're aware of what the conference call is, right? Like, the show I do with Chris and Rick. Like, there's a whole other YouTube page that I'm on. It's a show. It's even in the description of this video. You should go and follow after you watch this one and like this one and share this one and comment on this one and notification bell. Anyway, as it's been mentioned a number of times on that show, the way this camera makes me look, I just need people to understand that this is not real life. This camera, it is witchcraftery. Because when I tell you, the way it makes me look, the way it makes the skin just look, it automatically puts a filter on me. I just need you to understand that. Please don't think I'm this fine in real life. I am fine, mind you. But there's a little bit of AI on my face. I'm just letting you know. I have come here today to talk about leaning into exploring more of my more assertive, my more dominant side, that, exploring more of that energy as of late. And it feels really good. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that, I have a feeling that it does, with the fact that I'm now a gym rat. Like, I be up in the gym working on my fitness, like often, several times a week. So I feel as though, by the way, I'm vaping some Lifter from Tweedle Farms today and a cup of Stress Relief tea because, yes, God. Somebody remind me to read the tag in a moment. I don't want to get too off track because that will happen to me easily. But I be up in the gym and, lifting weight and moving your body. I feel like that cultivates a lot of that type of, I don't want to say, I'm really hesitant to say masculine energy, because I don't want to attribute all of these to just masculinity, because I feel like then you're saying, the opposite is femininity, and I don't think that's necessarily true or the case. So I feel, however, I feel that being in the gym and being around so much testosterone is having an effect on me. But it's a good effect because I'm really taking a deeper dive into that side of me. These days I'm certainly more assertive. I have had opportunities to be more dominant, primarily, I should have disclaimed this from the beginning. This particular video may be a little bit NSFW, as I will be talking about some things. Not like in detail, because this is YouTube, and you know that on YouTube don't really be playing like that. However, what I will say is that, yeah, I've had the opportunity on a number of occasions as of late to be more dominant, more of a dom than a sub. And for those who know, they know. And the more I flex that muscle, no pun intended, the better it feels. So, prime example, last weekend, I decided to take myself out on a little date. So I went to this bar, this really nice rooftop bar here in town, just to have like a drink before I went out to dinner with myself. Oh, what was the episode of Living Single? What? God damn it! When Regine went to like a self-help class and that woman was telling her to date herself, it was what was it? Love yourself. It was something. It was something. But it was her and Maxine. They went to the same class. But yeah, anyway, somebody would look it up. But yeah, so I went on a date with myself, and I was like, you know what? I want to be a man tonight. I want to be, which is weird to say, but I was like, I want to be a man tonight. I want to go to a bar, not like sports bar, mind you, because that is not at all my scene. But I was like, I want to go to a bar. I want to have a drink, and I want to meet a man. That's what I want to do. And preferably, I would like not to pay for anything tonight. So before I left my place, I put that out into the universe. I literally said, universe, I would very much love to meet a man tonight, and I feel like I should not have to take my card out of my pocket or out of my wallet at all tonight. Thank you. Anytime I ask the universe for things, I always say thank you right after, because I feel like that's a really good way of manifesting, because you say thank you for things that you've already received, right? All right, that's a whole nother tangent. So I go out to this bar. I do end up meeting this guy, and we hit it off in a very interesting way. But how we end up hitting it off was primarily me doing something that is outside of my comfort zone, which is like going up to someone, striking up a conversation. Because as I've said 1,000,000 times, I am primarily an introvert. And so the people who know introverts and people who are introverts fully understand the challenge that poses, like talking to a stranger. So what happened was, we were at this rooftop bar. He was sitting on one side, I was sitting on another side. He was sitting with another guy. That guy ended up leaving, and this guy was left there. And so I was like, I'm gonna flex this muscle. So I got up, I went over, and I basically was like, so did your friend leave you? And he was like, oh yeah, he's gone, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, well, can I join you? He said, sure. And so from then on, he and I had a very long conversation, like hours long conversation. When he spoke to me initially, I kind of was getting a vibe, and my vibe was confirmed, because it did turn out that he was attracted to men, and obviously so am I. And yeah, we spoke, we talked at length for hours. He told me a lot about himself. I shared some things with some of I shared some things of myself with him. We were kind of flirty, and long story short, while I ended up paying for my drinks, he did pay for my dinner. Now, none of that would have happened had I not tapped into that assertive energy and decided to go over to him, ask him, "Oh, did your friend leave you? Can I join you?" Because again, what has been my default, I feel like for the majority of my life, is to be more passive, more receptive. I feel like I have lived my life in a way where I have always wanted or expected, rather, well, both wanted and expected, for someone to approach me. And that rarely that rarely happens. However, when it does happen, oh, it turns me on. There's actually another story about when a friend and I went out to this gay bar several years ago for New Year's. This guy made a move on me and he made it heavy, and it, woo! I'll tell it. Somebody remind me to tell that story at another point in time. But it, so a man to me being assertive and coming up to me and introducing himself or offering me a drink, or that that takes someone a long way with me, because I feel like so many people don't do that, and so many people are, I feel like more people are passive, like I am slash used to be, and so many people like don't take that initiative, that when someone actually does, it's very attractive. But anyway, that's, again, that New Year's story is a whole story for a different day. So yes, for the majority of my life, I've been very passive. I've been like, oh, I really, oh, if someone comes up and talks to me, like that's what I want, and I'm way too introverted or shy to actually do that myself. However, some time ago, I was talking to another friend of mine about, because he's very much the same way. He's very kind of passive as well. He really wants a man to make the move. And I was telling him, I was like, what I am finding just in life in general is that the things that you want, you actually have, in order to get those things, sometimes you have to exhibit the traits before receiving those from the universe. For instance, if you want to live a wealthy lifestyle, you kind of have to start acting like you live wealthy. And it could be something small, but you have to act that way first in order for the thing to be received. I have found that it's not the other way around, which kind of makes logical sense. Like, okay, I want to be wealthy, therefore I need wealth. I need an abundance of time. I need an abundance of money. But yeah, it's the reverse. It's, you have to exhibit that behavior before that thing actually manifests. So again, in this example, I was telling my friend, I was like, if you want a man to walk up to you at the grocery store, at a bar, at a club, at a restaurant, and be like, can I buy you a drink? Can I take you out sometime? Hey, how are you? What's your name? I really like. And if you want that, you have to exhibit it yourself. And so I'm saying this to myself, like, okay, if I want more of that, I gotta be that. I gotta be that. And it's so out of my comfort zone again as a passive, receptive introvert. But I am playing more into that. And yeah, it feels it feels really interesting, and it feels pretty good. And I find more, let's, for example, on dating apps, I find a lot, I get a lot of passive energy on dating apps. For example, I can, let's take Tinder. I can swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe and match and match and match and match. And I find that no one will send the first message. Like I can match all day long. I got a bunch of matches right now on my Tinder app, and no one will send the first message. Everyone's waiting on the other person to send the first message, which to me is kind of crazy. Now, my personal philosophy is that whoever made the match, meaning whoever swiped right last, should be the one to send the first message. To me, that just makes logical sense. But apparently, nobody really thinks that way. But yeah, I find that so many men, I can only speak for men, so many men are so passive in that way. Now, obviously not all, but I just find like, and I do a lot of people watching. I do a lot of people watching when I'm just out and about it, but especially like at the gym, and even when I went out to the bar and on my self date, I went out primarily to just sit and kind of people watch. And I just look at people's behavior and how they are just so passive and somewhat, I don't want to say timid or meek, but kind of afraid to kind of break out and be assertive and to kind of break the mold and to really be themselves. And so, yeah, I'm really exploring that energy, and it feels really, really good. So as I mentioned, this video is going to be a little NSFW, going back to being like somewhat of a dom slash top. In the past, I have been 100% bottom, right? And there are people there. Okay, let me disclaim. For people who might be new to me, meaning Bizarre Hodgepodge, please understand that I talk very openly about sex and have zero qualms about doing so. So I'm just letting you know. So yeah, in the past, I have been a almost a strict bottom, but over the years I have evolved, and now I feel like I'm possibly in my daddy slash dom top era, and I'm getting a lot of confirmation of that because I'm attracting a lot of passive, submissive, bottom type of people. And initially, and mind you, this is kind of, I feel like it's been in the making for several years, but initially it feels strange because it's foreign, because it's foreign. And you're just like, well, what am I don't, it's foreign, and therefore I don't know how to navigate this dynamic because I'm typically on the other end of this. But I think with age and getting older comes maturity, and I think I feel like a lot of my gray hair, because I have grays in my beard. I'm certain you've seen them. I have grays in my beard. I have grays in my chest hair. I feel like that's kind of, I feel like that possibly plays a role in it. And I could just be projecting because I absolutely do. When I see a man with some salt and pepper, I instantly think daddy. Oh, hello, daddy. I instantly think that. So perhaps I'm projecting, but now that I have salt and pepper, I feel like now that's the energy that I'm like receiving, and perhaps that's the energy that I am putting out. Well, obviously that is the energy that I'm putting out now, and so yeah, I'm just really kind of playing in that energy and very much enjoying it, and yeah, just being more assertive and going and making the first move. And in fact, I'm endeavoring to do more of that. I'm pushing myself to do more of that because I truly think that's how I get myself to the next level. Because again, I've been so in that other box that I'm like, let's try something different. Let's try something different on this new journey that I'm on. So yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say. This is. I just looked at this camera and I was like, please, Lord, I did hit the button right. The red light is on, but I couldn't see the timer tracking. I was like, wait a minute, Jesus. It's yes, obviously it's recording. So that's all I'm gonna say. I feel like on this topic. Feel free to comment things about this. I'm a little curious to know people's thoughts on this. My T tag says smiling is the most basic kind of piecework. I can get with that. I can agree with that. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Tweed. Remember to tune in on Fridays for Fashion Show Friday. By the way, obviously this video is not posted in the morning. I think I'm just gonna have to let that go. Posting in the mornings. Honestly, my intention was to record this last night, but then all hell broke loose, and so I could not. I was gonna post it last night, edit it this morning, get it posted this morning, but guess what? That didn't happen. Plans change. So yeah, it's coming out today, but I have to edit this now. I have to edit this now. So it will be out at some point today. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Tweed. Like, share, subscribe, notification bell, comment. Follow also the conference call, the official conference call here on YouTube, because we be posting, we be talking about shit. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say today. So yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hitting the button. And yeah, I'll talk to you Friday. Deuces.